Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Sofia here. I'm excited to spend the next hour and 15 minutes with you. How many of you are here because you would like to make some more money? Raise your hand. Thank you. And how many of you are here because it's part of Da Nang Nomad Fest? Be honest, raise your hand. Thank you. Well, welcome. My name is Sofia Kakkava, and I'm very, very grateful to be here because what I'm going to share with you today is part of my mission, creating more freedom. And this wouldn't be possible without my business. And before I dive deeper into today's workshop, I would like to take a moment to thank all of you. It's day 6 or day 7 already, and you're still here, you're still present, so give yourselves a big round of applause for being here. You know, opportunities, you may miss them, maybe you're gonna learn something important here. So yeah, kudos to you for being here. And I am very, very grateful to actually have these spots and very grateful for Da Nang Nomad Fest for having me. Actually, this was not planned. This was not part of the schedule. But after my keynote on Saturday, Marcos came and said, Sofia, can you do this? And I said, hell yeah. So how many of you have seen me before? Raise your hands. Thank you for being here again. And how many of you see me for the first time? Raise your hand. Okay, welcome. So let me ask you that. Would it be okay to actually have you do the work today? Would it be okay? Thank you. I do not want this to be boring. I do not want this to be, I just sit back and I kill my time. I want this to be value. So I have prepared a couple of things. So in the next hour, what we're going to do, I'm going to teach you the principles of high converting offers. Offers that can make you more than $100,000. How many of you would like that? Thank you. Yeah, that's the excitement. So would it be okay to share a little bit more about myself and why am I here teaching you about building offers? Well, by background, I'm a coaching psychologist, so I'm going to be nerdy today. I'm going to talk a little bit about your brains and how they work or don't work right sometimes. And I started my career in HR in the Netherlands. I started my corporate career. Actually, to share a moment with you, which I hadn't planned, I opened my phone last night and Facebook reminded me of 10 years ago. 10 years ago, 26th of March, 2016, I was living in London. I had just completed my master's in executive coaching, a very expensive course that my family sacrificed years in order to support me. And I was sitting in my living room. My kitchen, rats would run around. And to be honest, I was sharing a room with someone, with my friend, because I could not afford to pay rent. I could not get a job. I was constantly rejected, even though I had a master's in leadership development. And I felt like a complete failure. I was making about £3 an hour as a waitress at a local Greek restaurant. And I was very grateful for my hard work. I cleaned toilets. I served people. I was disrespected multiple times. And I was gathering coins to pay for my £1 noodles. That was exactly 10 years ago. I had woken up to watch the parade of Greek armed forces because we had our national holiday. And I looked at that last night and I felt a lot of emotions. First of all, I was proud for that girl that showed up and did the work, because it brought me right here in front of you today teaching how you can actually make it happen. So if you're not exactly where you are right now, you are exactly where you need to be right now. Just take that decision. It doesn't matter your background, your education, where you're coming from, is how much do you want to make it work. So that was 10 years ago. Wow. Time flies. And behind the scenes, I am a big daddy's girl. I grew up only with my dad. He's my inspiration. I grew up without a mom in a very, very challenging environment. And one of the things that made me passionate was martial arts. I'm a multiple times world champion. And I learned one thing, that in business and in life, you may get slapped multiple times. Keep going, keep fighting, and you're going to be a world champion. And we're going to talk about converting your offers. So what are some things that you need in order to make people trust you? What do you need? Strong background, thank you. A good story, thank you. Authenticity, fantastic. You need, if you ask me to walk the walk, you need to be the example. You need to be the real you. People are not going to buy a fake image, or if they buy into it, they're not going to stick with you. So what I do at the moment, I run a multiple six-figure coaching business. I love what I do. I'm in places like Da Nang, speaking. Next, I'm going to Spain. I'm going to speak there. I'm back to the Netherlands. I have my own community, and I have been a digital nomad for the past 6 years, before COVID. And I published my first book, The Freedom Office, on that topic, how you can thrive as a digital nomad. So, a little bit of perspective. As I mentioned, 10 years ago, I'm working for £3 an hour. Few months ago, that was my day. 25K cash collected. In perspective, more than what both of my parents in Greece make in 1 year. Imagine you having access to more wealth. Who could you impact in your surroundings? And let me ask you this. How many of you are afraid of sales? Raise your hand. Thank you. How many of you are afraid to ask for money or ask for your service? Thank you. And how many of you are currently selling a product or service? Thank you. You're in the right place. So what happens if you do not promote yourself? What happens? You don't get paid. Nothing, thank you. You don't get paid, but what else? What else? No impact. How many of you would like to receive some money in exchange for helping? No, nobody wants to help. Oh, okay, thank you. How many of you would like to receive some money in exchange of serving others? Yeah, it's a cool thing. And I do believe that you have so much more to give. So 25K in less than 12 hours. This did not happen by coincidence. How many of you think that I was just lucky that day? Maybe a little bit. No, that is by design, and I am here to teach you my exact framework. I've done my preparation. I have something for you. So why do offers fail? Why do people do not buy? They do not trust you. Thank you. Not the right fit. Fantastic. People buy solutions. They do not care about your product or service. They care about their pain to be relieved. And to talk a little bit psychology, what do people buy? Do they buy pleasure more, or do they want to avoid pain? We hate pain since the beginning of times. So our brain hates pain. Our brain hates it. So if you find what is painful for someone and solve it, you got a winning product. But what else? What else our human mind loves? Loves pleasure, yes. But what else? Majority of offers fail because they are too complicated. Our human brain loves simplicity. And I'm a coach. Where are my coaches? Any coaches in the room? Thank you. We make things so complicated, people are not buying, right? People do not buy. And what else our brain loves? Loves to trust. But it's a hard thing. How can you make someone trust you? Your expertise? What else?
Vulnerable and relatable.
Being vulnerable, relatable, showing you are a real human being and you're not the God that came from above. Thank you. Speaking from the heart, fantastic. Social proof, yes. What is social proof? What does it mean? Testimonials, fantastic. Case studies, testimonials. I can show up right here and tell you, I am amazing, I am a great coach, buy my stuff. But what if you come and say, listen, I've worked with Sofia and she's actually pretty awesome. You know what? I paid her money and she made me more money. Which one is more credible, right? So we want social proof. And one of the biggest mistakes I see service providers, product owners do is that they try to exchange their time for money. How many of you have sold your time before? Oh yeah. When I started my coaching business, I would be grateful if someone would give me 50 euros, 70 euros for an hour of my time, right? So we do not sell time. What do we do? What do we do? Offer transformation, yes, thank you. So what happens when you sell your time? You cannot scale, you get exhausted, you get burned out, and you end up closing the month without being able to pay your bills, right? And People also, the human brain loves structure. So what does structure do? Gives predictability. So when I'm using an offer creation framework, what do? I can guarantee a result. If you take my framework, which by the way, I'm going to teach you in a second, you can go out there and sell your offer without selling it. So clients are not able to see your full value if you do not present it the right way. So what do we want to do instead? We want to create an outcome-based offer. Show the outcome. What would be the end result if someone works with you? And then we create a very structured journey. Higher perceived value increases your price, but your price should always be lower than the value you present. And that way, it's way easier to sell and scale. And actually, this happened this morning. This morning, I had a call with my client, Joe. Joe is a TEDx speaker, incredible woman from the Netherlands. She runs a global community. She has her platform called Umaversity. She is impactful. So I met Joe in TEDx Amsterdam. I was just in the crowd, sitting exactly where you are, and she came on stage and gave her presentation, and then I reached out. And I said, hey, I love your community. I would love to speak. I know you do that to help women. I'll do that for free. I would love to give a workshop. And do you know what she told me? She said, Sofia, yeah, I would love you to speak in my community, but can you please tell me what do you do? Because I believe I need it. And I said, hey, I'm not here to sell my service. I am here to actually help you. But I had to describe what I do, and she signed up to my program. What happened? When she started, she was terrified of sales. She had 0 high-ticket clients in her offer. And within 2.5 months, she closed 60,000 euros with her new offer that we built together based on the framework I'm going to teach you. So today, we had our renewal call because last week she completed. So this morning, I just closed a 20K deal. Thank you, give it a hand. This morning, this happened this morning. I mean, great synchronicity or timing or God's will, call it however you want, but this is not coincidence. This is by design. And this is for my support for her in a premium price, just good for her for 6 months. This is, I'm gonna keep serving her, so for me it's a great pleasure. So it took me less than 30 minutes for her to say yes, and it was not even a conversation of if she's going to do it or not. She was, Sofia, I continue working with you. This is what we did in a couple of weeks. Imagine what I'm gonna do with you in 6 months. So how many of you would like to have this kind of morning? Thank you, thank you. So how about that we do it together? I showed this in my keynote. So people, in order to get into your world, they want value, right? They want value. So how many of you have a freebie or something that you offer for free, like a lead magnet? Yeah? Always make sure that you give value first and then you ask for something. Always, always, always. Then you want an entry-level offer. Kind of a sweet taste of who you are, how do you work, and what you can bring to the table, right? And I get asked very, very often, Sofia, isn't it a bad thing to give a lot of stuff for free? Of course, you need a strategy for conversion, but I do believe never be afraid to give more because it always comes back. And position yourself as someone that has so much to give that others come back and want more and more and more and more and more. So you want that initial offer, and then what we're going to be talking today, creating a signature offer. What's a signature offer? It's your main thing. I've actually closed in new client deals more than 120,000 euros in less than 4 months with one single offer that has a lot of elements that takes time to develop, but when you're able to work that out, you do not need 100 products, 100 services. I used to be that person. I wanted every week to create something new, a new title, a new program, and I wasted hours creating stuff that nobody bought. Nobody, zero, crickets, zero cash. And then I created one thing that I keep selling and selling and selling and selling. Exact same thing that brings results. So, are you ready to do some work? I didn't hear you. Are you ready to do some work? Thank you. Okay, let me give you that. Da Nang Nomad Fest. Keep one and pass it around.
I want a worksheet. Let's go.
Here you are. So keep one and give the rest. Maybe my people at the back? Yeah, thank you. So let's do this. Let's do this. I want you to turn to the page. Don't look at everything. Don't read everything through. Wait for my instructions. Wait for my instructions. So I want you to turn to the page that says hot model, hat model. This is one of my frameworks. As a coaching psychologist, I love designing stuff. I love creating my own frameworks. And I used to be, believe it or not, terrified of putting myself out there, terrified of sales, terrified of presenting, and terrified of asking for money. I still need to meditate oftentimes, especially when I'm launching something new and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna ask for someone to pay me 50K for what I know. I still freak out. So it's part of the game. But I've created this framework to make my life easier. So H, it stands for, I didn't hear you. High value. Your price needs to be higher or lower than the value. Lower. Okay, I'm leaving. Pay attention. So, okay, let's make it that way. So if I need this tissue because I'm crying, I really need it, my makeup is going to be looking terrible. And right now for me, I need to look good. You know, I have my private team recording me and everything. So I really need that. This is a solution. And you come and tell me, oh, you know what? You've invested a lot of money to be here, and I'm going to ask you for more money for that. Am I going to buy it or not? No. But if you tell me, you know what? If you just get that for just $1, your $600 video is going to look amazing. Am I going to pay $1? Of course. So make sure that you follow this principle and solve the pain for a price way lower than the value you provide. If someone tells you that your service is very expensive, what does it mean? That you are a scammer, right? No. What does it mean? It means that they do not realize how valuable your product or service is. So I want you to stand up. Thank you. And I want you to find the person and discuss with them what is a painful problem that your audience has, that you have the tissue, you have the solution, and this is what you can offer. So find someone and discuss that for a minute. What is the pain point of your people?
Tired? Tired?
No, tired me now.
I have a date on. Okay, I need to teach you how to create more content. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Like, I'm saying that's not exactly that before, but definitely understand.
Start wrapping up, start wrapping up. I can see what's happening. Everyone gets excited by speaking about their offers. You can go back to your seats. Yes, that happens when you get excited about your offer. So yes, you can wrap up now. And let me challenge you on the next one. So we want our hot offer to be what? What's the second element? Say that louder. So are you clear about the outcome that you deliver? Who could be a little bit more clear? Thank you. Do that. Sit down and map the process. And there is nothing that cannot be measured in a way or another. Of course, if you are a business coach like me, it's way easier to say, you come to me and you've never sold high ticket before, and by the end of my program, you are able to sign up your first 10K client. Measurable? Yes. If I'm a fitness coach, I can say, you know what? You follow my gym routine and my nutrition plan, and you can lose 5 kilos before the summer comes. Measurable, right? Sometimes what we offer in the transformation, it's not that easy to measure, yes? But remember this, people buy identity shifts. They buy the person they become after using your product or service. So sit down and find a way to define that. Build case studies. build the proof and show why someone should trust you. Out. And then, what's the last part of the HOT model? Transformation clear. So after you deliver your product or service, what has happened? So I want you to turn to the person next to you and for a minute discuss what happens after someone starts working with you, and who do they become after using your product or service? Is it more wealth, more happiness? Do you provide more health? All of the above? Because this is very, very important. When someone, for example, comes to my world, like Joe, was it the problem of the credibility or the offer? Of course, practically, we redesigned her offer. She had all it takes, but it was a confidence thing as well. How can I measure the confidence? I measure it by having my client say, you know what, I was terrified of sales, and now I'm actually looking forward to the next sales conversation. So turn to the person next to you and discuss, who do your clients become after working with you?
Any business meeting.
Start wrapping up. And is there anyone who would like to share? Who do they help, and what is the transformation they provide after their business, after their product or service?
Energy, they feel energized.
Sofia? So I work with office coaching speakers, and I help them go from being the invisible expert to becoming the undeniable authority in as little as under 20 days. My two-step approach.
Perfect, thank you. So what happens if someone does not work with you?
Well, they remain the best kept secret. Nobody knows them. They can't get anywhere. Other people that are less qualified, less experienced than them, get the opportunity that they should have been getting. So they're not going anywhere. So it's a massive identity shift from being an invisible expert, the best kept secret, to being the obvious choice and an undeniable expert.
Perfect, thank you. Give him a hand. Would it be okay, excuse me, what is your name?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, would it be okay if I give a little bit of feedback? Please. Thank you. So How many of you agree that is a really, really big mission to help someone go from invisible, never seen, to actually be out there in the world? Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I want to challenge you, and this is relevant for all of us. I want to challenge you on the pain. If you tell me, Sofia, you're invisible and you're not going to go anywhere, I'm going to be, you know what, that's great. I better chill here. I don't have to travel to Vietnam, pay $2,000 for a flight. Amazing. My comfortable self loves it and I don't want to do it. But how can you make me feel the pain for not taking action and paying you a couple of $1,000s for your service?
Not making money.
Think about that. And that's the difficult part. You need to figure that out. I wish I had all the answers, right? For everyone, it's different. For someone like me, it's like, it's great. I love doing what I do, but at the same time, what's important to me is to make my family proud. I want my father to be like, he was in Athens Nomad Fest, and he was in the crowd, and he saw me for the first time presenting. For me, that's the moment. If someone tells me, you know what, I will help you make that dad proud, I pay. If you tell me otherwise you're not going to go anywhere, I'm going to be like, perfect, right? So Lorenzo and everyone here, identify what your ideal client really, really, really wants. So here's the thing. People come to you for what? Why do they come to you?
Solution.
Do they come to you for what you want to give to them? Do they come to you for what they need? No. Don't make this mistake. People are going to buy what they want. And once they are into your world, what do? You give them what they need. I never met anyone that said, oh my God, let me work with a fitness coach because I love going to the gym 5 times a week and eating healthier and not eating that, drinking that Starbucks coffee. No, they said, I'm going to pay someone money to make me look good, to make me feel attractive, right? So that's the big difference. Attract people for what they want, the abs, the money, the fame, whatever it is that they want, and in your niche, ease, convenience, and give them what they need. Because here's the thing, you are the expert. Nobody knows and needs to know your frameworks or your process. If I would take you deep into my world of building stuff, you may get bored, right? But when you come to my world for what you need, I make this promise to deliver. But I also, because I'm a responsible entrepreneur, I give you what you need. Do you know how many of my clients, they told me within the first week of working together or before they sign up, Sofia, I don't want to be selling. I don't want to sell. Probably all of them. What did I tell them? I'm going to teach you my sales framework. No. I told them, hey, listen, I have a step-by-step process that will guarantee you clients without you selling. What do? Of course they sell, but my process makes it so easy for them that it doesn't feel that way. So you can turn to the other side. And I have prepared for you your offer builder suite. Unfortunately, we only have that much time, and I won't be able to go through every step with you today, but we still have some time to do some more work. Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Thank you. So, what's the first step? What's step one? What's step one?
Who is it for?
Yeah, so I want you out loud with a count of 3 to shout, who do you help? 1, 2, 3. Okay, can I tell you a secret? The highest energy always wins in sales, in business, in life. So with a count of 3 again, and if you don't know who you help, just say something. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I love that. I heard women, I heard businesses. What else? Personal brands, amazing. New coaches, that's specific, and I love it. Because women, where are my women? It's many women, right? Different women. So how about you make it more specific? Where are my men? If you help men in your business, also specify, right? New coaches, I love that. If you can add numbers in your ideal client persona statement, do that. So what we're going to do in a second, we're going to create our signature offer statement. So don't rush, stay with me, and we're doing this together, right? It's not about speed here. We're here. I help who? That's our first step. Whoop. Our step 1 is to identify our ideal client persona. So write it down. Write it down in your notebooks, on your phones, and be as specific as possible. Then, what is our second step? What is the second step?
Problem do you solve?
Okay, with the count of 3, you know the drill. I want you to shout, what's the problem that you solve? 1, 2, 3.
Feeling sexy in their body.
Okay, one more time. You can just shout a word, right? I can say money, relationships, whatever it is, right? Okay, so with a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, we could be a choir here. So, we have the pain. We have the pain. And then for our step 3, we want to know the transformation, right? It's a big word. So going back to our statement, you help, whoever you help, achieve specific results. Did I say result? No, I said, what's the word here? I didn't hear you. I have 2 people in the room. Specific, thank you. Specific. So write it down. Write it down. And then for our last part of the statement, you want to add the element of you, your signature method, It can be this nice, fancy name that you can create with AI, with everything that you learned over this weekend. And you can describe your step-by-step process, add the time frame, and you can utilize that in your social media. I, for example, have a signature statement in my Instagram. Whoever ends in my world, they can see that I help coaches who want to scale past 50K months. And I do that through my signature methods, right? So you can take that and directly implement it on your social media. I have a different signature statement along those lines for my LinkedIn, because what do we want to achieve with that? We want to attract our ideal clients, yes? And let me tell you that, don't be afraid to be specific because some other people are not gonna buy. On the contrary, I have some of my clients who help men, for example. They have women reaching out because they solve their problem. Or if you have specific numbers, don't think that someone else is not going to reach out to you, right? Just add it as a reference point, and then with your content, I also have it here for you. It's a business ecosystem, but also a content ecosystem. Make sure that you nurture that people that come to your world. So, is there anyone who is willing to share their signature offer statement? Or who they help? And what's the biggest pain point they solve? You can come here. My fellow coach for coaches. What is your name?
Badr. My name is Badr. Hi, everyone. So I help new coaches who specifically can't make clients. They have problem not making clients. And a lot of times they've been running their business for a few months, sometimes even after the first and second year, and they're still not making clients. And we bring them in. Our container is a group coaching.
Fantastic.
And we help them to start making 3 to 5K a month consistently, without having to grow an audience, without having to perform, by being authentic and doing it with integrity. And we leave them with a business that is poised to scale to 6 figures after that.
Fantastic. Give him a hand. How many of you think that he has done his work? Yeah, clearly, right? So again, remember, this comes by design. So what you can do, take this, look at it tomorrow, reflect. What pain point am I solving? When you think that you got it, go deeper and go deeper and reflect from a different angle, and again and again and again. Do you know how much work am I doing with my ideal client persona for years? I have an offer that clearly works, and I still work on my offer. So your offer is your baby. Because something sells right now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be relevant forever. But let me tell you that. For example, Nike, Air shoes, they're selling since the 70s. Coca-Cola, same product, right? So you can have your winner, and then you just need to package it to fit to the right audience. So in a moment, I'm going to wrap up for today because I would love to spend some time with you and answer some questions. What do I have next? Oh, yeah. How many of you like gifts? Let me tell you a secret. The best way to promote your offer is what? Put it in front of other people's eyes. So how many of you agree that if more people would see your offer, if more people would hear your voice, you could have more clients, right? So what I would like, because giving is what this environment is all about, if you scan this QR code, I would like to give to you my signature workshop, Get Paid to Speak, in which, of course, I'm going to teach you more about creating signature offers that convert. I have a very specific framework for that. This is, by the way, something different than what I gave in my keynote. I don't know, I'm gonna run out of gifts in a bit. So this is something new that I am gonna be hosting. And the reason I do it is because most of my clients struggle to sell one too many. And I'm gonna teach you the way that I do it that is so natural and so fun. I hosted my book launch event in Amsterdam a month ago, and people told me, my private clients were there, Sofia, are you gonna sell anything? And I said, no, I don't wanna sell anything. But of course I had to put a small offer together, which more than 60% of the room bought on the spot. So if that's relevant, if you would like to turn people into loyal customers and change some lives, scan the QR code. You need to scroll to the bottom. And, oh yeah, first this, if you would like to connect with me, and if you feel serious about building an offer that converts and you would like to have a further chat, either find me these days or send me a DM on Instagram with the numbers 26, so I will know it's from that date. And myself and my team are going to have a chat with you. We have a lot of good things that can help you out for all levels. So if you resonate with that energy and with my message, you're welcome to send me a message. And feel free to tag me also on socials. And with that, Q&A time, but before that, thank you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for being here with me and doing the work with me.
Okay, what's been the thing you've done that has had the biggest impact in your business?
Thank you for asking. It may sound like a cliche. As I mentioned, I have a master's degree in coaching and I have an MBA, so check. I've done my education and my studies, but investing in mentors and coaches and buying specific knowledge has skyrocketed my business. In the past week, actually someone was next to me. You were there, and he looked at my phone and said, you're buying something expensive. Is it true? I was making a 3,000 pound purchase. I was just sitting there. It's just one of the simple things that I do on a daily basis. I am buying information, I am buying knowledge, and I am buying a solution that someone else has spent years developing. So that's what's going to skyrocket your business. And I'm not saying that because I'm a business coach and you may buy or may not buy my service. It's because it's a fact. I've invested more than 50,000 euros in the last year for my own mentorships. And quite honestly, it always pays back. And your biggest asset is yourself. So never discount. Think of the hot offer, right? You want to be the best. You want to open your mouth and you want to have heads turn, right? So invest in you. That's what had the biggest impact in my business. Thank you for asking, Jacuzzi. Any other questions?
The last part of the SO statement method, if you don't have a specific method, are you building some specific way of offering, like just put a name on a thing for the thing that you do and it just sounds cool? Or can you speak more into like how to name the method? Because we didn't really do that part. Thank you.
Excellent question. Thank you for asking. So I'll be honest with you. I so much prefer that you do not put a super fancy name there just to sound good, because people are not idiots, right? And for my beginners here, never be afraid to say, hey, it's the first time I'm doing this. Just go out there and do it. So you can be a bit more generic in the beginning. You can create a framework, or you can add here a time frame. For example, when should I be expecting my first result, right? Of course, packaging is very important, and it's another probably topic for next Da Nang Nomad Fest. I hope I'm here, Marcos and Dimitris. So your method could be the type of work that you're offering, your vessel, your process. How am I going to achieve that result? How you're helping me, right? So, and the best way to convert, to have your offer convert, is you believing in it, right? I can have the fanciest and sexiest name for my offer, but if I don't feel that it's going to help you, you're going to understand that. Yes? So, branding, yes. Marketing, yes. Packaging, yes. But also make it authentic to you. I would so much prefer, but that's me. Of course, your ideal client may be different. I would so much prefer to work with someone that tells me, hey, this is what you're getting, than buying something that looks good from the outside and then it's shit. So, yeah, it's like the catfish, you know, you go on Tinder swiping and then, no, we don't want that. So make it authentic, make it true to you, and think of your client's pain point. Package it in a way that it's not just nice to your ears, but makes sense for them. Does this help? Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Sofia. So you know Connect Better, right?
I
Because
know Connect Better.
shared this with you. So I actually help, or we actually help community builders to have the system. And of course, the first impression is sharing your contact details. So can you please help me make my signature offer statement, just an example, all right? I believe that I can make it, but I think you can make it better. So I'd like to hear your version and convert them into clients or collaborators, for example.
Thank you for asking. I'm always up for a challenge, but here's the thing. I'm smart, but you are the real genius for your business. So my suggestion may be worse than what you actually going to come up with. So let me ask you that. What's the biggest pain point of your ideal client?
Sorry, say that again.
The biggest pain point of your ideal client.
Okay. The pain point, like the struggle.
Yes.
Many of my clients struggle, or even me, I did struggle with sharing all of my contact details to a stranger in a click. So let's say they are boomers, all right? And then they ask me like, what's your Facebook or what's your Instagram? It's like I would give them one by one, and then there's a mistake there, so I need to redo it. So the pain of sharing my contact details to, let's say, my new friend or my new connection. So I created this so that I could give them everything in just a few clicks, and they can even make their own profiles in less than 30 seconds.
Can I challenge you here for a second? I would argue that that's not the real pain. My real pain is not being able to say, hey, that's my Instagram. What's my real pain? My real pain is spending 7 days here, talking to 100 people and signing up 0 clients because I failed to follow up, because I was constantly busy. So do not confuse habits with real pain. So the pain of an entrepreneur is wasting hours. I haven't worked that much on my business for a week. I told my team, I'm sorry, this is taking way more time than I thought. So my pain point is not being able to say, hey, Sofia Kakkava coach, find me on Instagram. My real pain is not having a database afterwards to follow up and sign up 0 clients. So dive deeper to the real pain. That would be my advice for you.
That's the real pain, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how can you help me make a signature offer using that real pain?
So,
For example,
in my understanding, you do not have only one ideal
I'm
client.
trying to think how to form a question around this. Like, I have developed my signature offer this week, and pertains to you or not, actually. My community is so used to me giving everything away for free that I have yet to know how to switch their mindset to pay me for the depth that I can bring them into, because they're just used to me giving it to them. And so I have a framework that I've developed. It's called the Plan F framework. It's the journey of fear to freedom. And it brings women in many stages in life from one identity to another.
Okay, that's an excellent question. Okay, let me show you something. So what you're saying is that your ideal clients, they give a lot of stuff for free. So assuming their relationship with money is a little bit like, I'm not gonna ask for it, right? And you want naturally to get paid. So relevant to everyone. Everyone has two options when they're having a chat with you or ending up on your landing page. We have option A and option B. With option A being saying a yes and buying to your solution, or what's the other one? Saying no. So your job, and it may be difficult, is to show them, it's called future pacing. Put them into a forward situation, transport them to the future, and give them two potential future outcomes. With one, A, yes, being after they finished your program or utilized your product, who they are, and then, and many people lose the sale there because they do not focus on future B. What is going to happen if they do not take action? Because even your people or anyone else's ideal client who has a bit of a challenge investing, and it's not only your ideal client, maybe my ideal client is thinking, you know what, why would I invest on your offer 30K now? I could save it, right? So everyone has these thoughts. But if you future pace them, position them, put them into a future situation that they bought your service or didn't buy your service, paint that picture, paint who they are with your product, paint the picture of who they are without your product, and I guarantee that if you paint that picture well, even a person that never bought a course or a coaching program, they're going to buy it from you. Does this help? Thank you.
Are you the one painting the picture for them, or you're guiding them to paint the picture for themselves?
An excellent question. Am I the one who paints the picture, or am I having them paint the picture themselves? Ideally, both. You can be bold and do it. Of course, every conversation is different, right? So you know your audience, and you can do that directly or indirectly. And sometimes you may need to be very, very bold, because I'll give you an example. I had someone reaching out to me from Egypt. She is a wellness breathwork coach. And actually, my team brought it to my awareness that this person has been emailing us for 2 years. Didn't buy. So when she's having that moment of considering an amazing offer that I had made for her, which I know it's going to help her, I was bold and I said, hey, this is what's going to happen. There's no need for you to keep messaging me because this is the outcome. Next message I received, she paid in full through my WhatsApp, right? Because I did it. But it's very, very nice to ask the questions. It's a conversation and have the people come up with the answer.
That's a specific situation where if it works, the boldness.
Say that
That
again.
specific situation, the boldness will work, but not always.
Oh yeah, not always, of course. You also realize what works well, or you can experiment with stuff. You can experiment and see what converts. You can experiment. And here is another element that I want to add, like a bonus. Emotion. They will not just connect with the scenario you're providing, make them feel who they are after they utilize your product, your service. Who do they become if they are financially free, independent, stress-free, healthier? Make them feel, or help them feel the pain of staying where they are right now and not taking action. So emotion, energy emotion always wins and will help you convert better and faster. Yes.
Hello, thank you for your talk. Ideally, how do you come up with the price of this high ticket offer? Do you look at what other people in the industry are charging, seeing how much it could possibly make your clients, like to come up with that value? And then if you're just starting out, should your offer increase as you work with more clients and as you become more confident with what you're offering?
Excellent questions. Thank you very much for asking. Oh, where do I start? Actually, these are many questions in one, right? Let me start from that. If you price based on the market, you become a commodity. You do not want to be compared. You want to be unique. And how do you do that? By putting your own unique selling point, your own signature elements into the mix. Because I would argue that there is always cheaper, right? You do not want your clients to think, oh, actually there is a cheaper business coach, there is a cheaper product or service. You want your people to come to you and for your results. Now, price is something that you need a real pricing strategy. It's very, very important. You need to test entry points. And I would suggest that you assign a price to your product or service. And if you see that this converts easily, you can go up. When else can you raise your prices? You can raise your prices when your clients are having results way faster. When I am selling a 6-month program and my client within month 2 has achieved the results, this is my signal for raising my prices, of course. And you can always, I love sales engineering and pricing for the person I also have in front of me. Add different elements in your offer to make it more juicy. So it's going to be so much easier for people to say yes. And remember the number one principle, you want your value to be higher than your price. So if your offer, any type of offer, from low ticket, entry level to high ticket offer, gives way more value than the asking price, people are going to buy. Thank you for asking. Yes. Maybe last question. How are we with time? Yeah? Okay. We're good with time.
First of all, thank you. It was very interesting and I love your energy.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm kind of like wanting to feedback what I'm doing. So I'm thinking about creating a new signature offer. Where should I start? Should I start with the result I want, to focus on the pain I'm solving or the method? Like where on would be the map to create and where should I start?
Thank you. May I ask, what do you do?
I want to help people who wants to start creating content and to post and expose themselves and tell their stories.
Great. So you are in the creative industry, right? Do I have any creatives or people in the creative industry here? Thank you. This is one of the industries that can make so much money, but you guys are severely underpaid. Yeah? So ask yourself, go back to the principles of your ideal client. What is step number 1? Who am I helping? Answer that question. Step number 2, what is their biggest pain? Not what they need and the result you can provide, but why do they need to work with you? What problem are you solving for them? I'll give you an example. I paid for a storyteller, cinematographer for my book launch. There are a million videographers I could hire, but I chose one of the most expensive ones. Why? Because it was not expensive. I found someone that can tell a story for my brand and can take my brand to the next level, right? So to go back to your question, when you want to start something new and pivot, sit down and do the groundwork. Who do you help? What is their biggest pain point? And what transformation do you offer? Yes? Thank you for asking. Any more questions? Then you can allow me to take a short video from my phone for marketing purposes. But you will need to help me because otherwise it's going to be super boring. Can we just say Da Nang Nomad Fest or, yeah?
And we all say Nomad.
Okay. Are we ready?
Ready.
Stand up, please, stand up, please, stand up, please. Da Nang! I hope that worked out fine. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to be around for questions. Thank you for being here. And thank you to Esco Beach for having us in this beautiful space. Thanks very much.